Welcome to The Losing Streak, a sports gambling podcast for those who just can't seem to win. Well, if you're following me on Twitter, you know that my name is now Bozo Bill, and I'm joined by my co-host, who I've decided to nickname Automatic Austin.
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah, so we changed the name of the podcast to add the phrase "a sports gambling podcast" after The Losing Streak, per Austin's correct suggestion that adding sports and gambling would help people find it easier when searching on podcast networks. And this episode will also be the first episode to be launched on our new YouTube channel. And the link to the spreadsheet tracking our picks will be posted out before the NFL games on Sunday, just in case you want to check my math and make sure I'm really doing as badly as I claim I'm doing. So let's get into Gold Star bets we had. I had a horrible run, which led to a losing streak being so bad that I renamed myself as Bozo Bill on Twitter and put a clown mask over my face. My profile picture, and I will remain as Bozo Bill until I get back in the black. But my record now, it was a little bit better today, but then the Raptors choked at the end of against the Warriors just now. But my record is 8-13, and I'm down 15.3 units. I bumped up my units at 3 on my Gold Star bets right as I started losing, but it's all right. All my other plays will be 1 unit from now on. I will slowly get this back up, and Automatic Austin, how are your Gold Star bets doing?
Well, I started off not so good. I started 1-3, but we reeled off a few in a row, 3 in a row. So we're up to 4-3, and I feel like I have some good info on tomorrow. So hopefully we're gonna keep it rolling, and yeah, we're gonna hope to just go on a long run here.
Yeah, I hope we make some money on college ball tomorrow, and then roll it right into NFL profit on Sunday. So let's get into the NFL games for this weekend. So for the NFC game, I haven't changed. I'm rolling with the Eagles at -2.5, and I'm going to take the under 46. I think the Purdy magic finally ends as the Eagles make their way back to the Super Bowl, and this game will probably be an ugly slugfest in my opinion. And I think it's going to be a slow-paced game. Sportsline has their simulation at A grade for the under 46. But, once the game starts, I'm going to hedge back on the 49ers, if the Eagles score early, if I can get 7.5 plus or more. But like all the big money, the pro picks, some various websites seem to be favoring the Eagles, So, I think this means that the casinos are all wanting the 49ers to win. So if you want to be on the casino side, the casino usually wins. So I don't know. What's your best bets for this game?
Yeah, I'm also on the Eagles. I just feel like the better quarterback, it's just I still don't believe in Brock Purdy. I know he's undefeated as a starter for the 49ers, but it's just he hasn't looked good in his last 3 starts. I mean, I believe in Hurts way more. I believe in the Eagles' philosophy, their game plan way more. Obviously, the 49ers defense is better, and if they win the game, that's what obviously will probably win it for them, a pick 6 or a fumble or something crazy like that. But I just really feel like this is the Eagles' game to lose, especially at home. They've just been the best team in the NFC all year. So, yeah, I'm looking at 2.5 for sure. I'm going to lock that in. And I also do like the under as well. And I also did cook up a teaser for this game. You could get 49ers plus 8.5 and under 53.5 for -110.
You said 49ers plus what?
49ers plus 8.5 and under 53.5 at -110.
That sounds pretty good too. Yeah, throwing that in. And I apologize if you hear some weird old man in the background. That's actually my really annoying dog. We had technical difficulties at the beginning of the recording due to Austin's dog deciding to be loud as hell, and now my dog wants to join in. Yeah, they don't even know. I don't. But yeah. So as I said, so I am now a pro subscriber in Action Network. I will sing their praises. They're a great website. They got a great app. So for the total for this game, they show the big money's on the under, but then they have they say there's a sharp, better, whatever on the over. And they even list I think they must have contacts that let them know what games they're going to bet on. So I don't know if this could be misinformation or whatever, take this with a grain of salt. But for this game, the sharp better thing doesn't really matter to me because it just says one person. So like the ones that are like seem like a good sharp bet, it'll be like 10 on one and 0 on the other side. You know, that tells me something if you have like 10 professional gamblers betting on one game. But if you have one person betting on the, you know, the over and everybody else taking the under, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that guy's the only guy that makes money in Vegas. Who knows? But I don't think so. But
No,
I like that teaser you got. You got any props for this game?
Nothing for this game. I was looking. DraftKings does have a plus 150 McCaffrey touchdown boost. But yeah, I was looking that there's nothing that really caught my eye for this game. Maybe the Devontae Smith over receiving yards prop. I think it was like 74.5. But I don't know. I think I just like the Eagles, their side on this with the under as well, plus that teaser. I think this is a pretty close game. It stays within a score, so yeah, I'm just gonna ride with the Eagles, honestly.
And you know, most of my gambling happens with live betting. But even if this line did move to 3 for whatever, and I think they're not moving it to 3 like on purpose because I think they know as soon as they move it to 3, people are going to load up so heavy on the 49ers. I think this game honestly will end by a field goal. I think like these are good teams. I mean, the good news is I think we got the 4 best teams. And
definitely. I agree.
So obviously we're rolling with the Eagles, but you know, if the 49ers win, I'm not going to be like shocked. You know, these lines are pretty sharp for these. But all right, so moving on to the other game where I assume we're on the same side. I'm definitely taking the Bengals again. I think right now the line's at plus 1.5. It's kind of like back and forth. I think they were like favored for a second.
Yeah, so it opened Bengals plus 2.5, and then it quickly went to Bengals minus 2.5, and then Mahomes practiced, and they had the press conference, and they said he was going to play, and so it quickly went back to the Chiefs being favored. But honestly, I don't really think that matters much. I'll probably hedge a little with the Chiefs on this game, but yeah, most of my money is going to be riding with the Bengals. I mean, Mahomes is hurt. Like, I don't care what anybody says. His ankles. He's gonna be limited, but it's a high sprained ankle. It's a week after the fact. I don't care how many shots they give him. I don't care how much tape they put on the ankle. He's not gonna be able to do what he usually does. So, you know, it's still gonna be a close game. They always are, but you just got to take the Bengals in the spot.
How do you feel about the total on this? I'm looking at the over. I think for right now.
I think like what did I read? I think I read like 60% of the money is on the under.
Okay.
So I think.
So the things I saw, I mean, at least for the sides, which is kind of worrying to me, but not really. I mean, it's still gambling, you know. So the big money and 19. So remember I told you before the other one had 1 sharp better. This had 19 sharp bettors. On Action Network are backing the Chiefs on the spread. But with that said, you know, whatever. But the top experts on their site, you know, the people that like, you know, you pay to like read their picks, they pick the Bengals. So I just think it's a lot of mix. I mean, obviously, I think there's people that are, you know, been rolling with the Chiefs all year, rolling with the Bengals all year.
I just think there's a bunch of Bengals haters out there, man. I mean, last year, nobody believed in them, and then it's like the same thing this year. Everyone last week was on the Bills. They said, oh, the Bengals' offensive line isn't going to be good. And then look what happened. The Bengals freaking absolutely crushed them like we said they would. And people are still doubting them. Like, I genuinely don't understand it. They're the best team in the AFC, hands down, all around. Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the AFC behind Patrick Mahomes.
And I would say if you consider their opponents last week, obviously the Bengals beat the best remaining team, you know, the Bills, and then the Chiefs just like struggled to beat, you know, the upstart young team who was lucky to make it where they made it, you know.
And on top of that, their quarterback got a sprained ankle. So it's like, I don't understand. People just really love Patrick Mahomes, and rightfully so, but I don't know. It's stupid to me.
But yeah, for that game, I'm definitely taking the Bengals. Definitely going with the over. I think it's gonna be a shootout. You know, and honestly though, I think it's gonna be a shootout, but I think it's gonna be dictated honestly like the first couple drives. If the Chiefs come out scoring quickly, you know, I mean, if the Bengals come out scoring quickly, the Chiefs are going to. I feel like they're a very reactive team. They play the pace of the teams they're playing against.
Yeah, I just feel like this game, it's really tricky though, because with a Mahomes injury, you figure, will the Chiefs want to run the ball more? So will they slow down the pace? They'll want to do more dink and dunk. So I actually looked at Travis Kelce receptions. You can get over 7.5 at plus money right now. I thought that was pretty interesting. If the Chiefs want to stay in this game and win this game, Travis Kelce's going to have a big game. So if you're on the Chiefs, I'd take a look at over 7.5 Travis Kelce receptions.
Okay. Do you want to know what sports line is simulating for his number of receptions? You're not going to like it. 5.7 for him.
What the heck?
But with that said, let me pull it up on Action Network too. Now that I'm an elite member of their program. But I mean, you can look at your next thing while I'm looking this up. It takes a couple seconds for this one.
Yeah, I just had another prop. I don't know if I'm actually going to play these, but under 27.5 Jared McKinnon rushing yards. He doesn't really rush the ball a lot, so. I mean, Vegas probably thinks they are going to run the ball more with Mahomes being hurt, but they have Pacheco. That's their main back. So I really don't see McKinnon getting too many carries, but you'll never know. It's just something I want to throw out there.
Okay.
Oh, actually, there is I also do have a teaser for this game. You can get Bengals plus 7.5 and under 55.5 if you think the under is going to hit at minus 120. But I'm sure you can get like over 44.5 for the same price if you think the over is going to hit.
All right, so I have bad news for you. So the simulation on Action Network also shows that he would go under 7.5 receptions.
I mean, that's fine. That's probably why it's at plus money, because all the simulations say that. But I mean, if the Chiefs want to win, I mean, you figure he's going to have a big game.
I mean, and with that said, I see both these numbers, and they're not like strong correlations. It's like as a C level or whatever on the under receptions. But you know me, I won our fantasy league before having Kelce as my tight end, and I've seen how many times he catches the ball, and I know, especially too. This is the same argument I made before with young quarterbacks or injured quarterbacks. They're going to throw to who's safe when they fall in when they get into trouble. And Kelce, he's going to catch whatever he throws to him, and he's always going to be there. It's like automatic. He's automatic like you are at picking the games. Yeah.
Exactly. And even like last week we saw against the Jaguars. I mean, Kelce would literally run 5 yards, turn around, and Mahomes would just throw it to him. And like that's how, like literally, and at the halftime he had like 10 catches. And I was like I didn't even know he had that many catches, because it just seemed like he just kept doing the same thing over and over again. And it's like I don't understand how teams don't cover this.
So my only problem is we're on the same side and the same total for both of these games. So I guess we're just going to win everything, right?
I think so. I mean, I think we have a good read. I mean, these should be close games. If they're not, I'd be shocked. But I mean, I feel like teasers are good. You could get 49ers plus 7.5, Bengals plus 6.5 for minus 112, which I thought was pretty decent.
Yeah, and since it's only 2 games, I'll say this. We always talk about our Twitter. We want you to follow us anyways. But I will live tweet all my live bets on this game, on both these games. So I'm going to show people like my hedging system. You can see it. I won't say exactly what sportsbook I'm on for each thing, but I'll put the bets or whatever. Yeah, I don't want to get the attention of them.
Yeah, these games should definitely be good hedge games.
Yeah, like both of these games will end up right around the total and probably right around the spread, which is why hedging is great, because if you can get a couple of points either direction, it's money for you.
Yeah, an early over exaggeration by the books.
Oh, but what I was saying before about the sharp action, the big money on Kansas City, but all the experts on Action Network picked the Cincinnati Bengals. So do with that information what you will.
Yeah, I mean both games are probably really divided, but I'd probably say more so for the AFC game. But yeah, it should be fun. I'm really excited for Sunday.
I think too, with the simulations favoring the Chiefs, it makes kind of sense if you think about it, because simulations can't really simulate injuries, and clearly,
right.
If they were all healthy, I would say you should take the Chiefs in this game. But
Yeah, it just doesn't. The Chiefs don't have a good defense, so I just don't understand like why. Like I understand Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the league and all that, but he's hurt. He's basically on one leg, and then their defense isn't that good. They basically like the Bills had a better defense than the Chiefs, and the Bengals absolutely just steamrolled them. So I just don't understand where this narrative that the Chiefs are the better team is coming from. I mean, they may be better than last year, but they're still not better than the Bengals. The Bengals are the best all-around team. They're the only team in the AFC with, I'm pretty sure, top 10 DVOA adjusted units on both sides of the ball. So I don't know. I'm tired of the Bengals, the Cincinnati disrespect, honestly.
as someone who loves to disrespect the entire city of Cincinnati, like, I agree with you. They should not be disrespected as a team.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
And all right. And on that note, now that we've gone, I mean, do we want to do any best bets from that, or do we want to give our gold star bets at the end? Probably we should wait to the end.
Yeah, we can wait to, and I'll probably do, because I'll probably wait and say my NFL best bet for Sunday, obviously, and then I'll have a college best bet for tomorrow.
Okay. All right. So speaking about college ball, your favorite and most profitable sport. Let me get I have two picks I'll throw out in the first, and you can rip them apart. I'm not, they're leans as of right now. You can convert me or, convince me otherwise. South Alabama at home +1.
Against Troy?
I know. But as I said, I don't do as much research on the college basketball. I'm an idiot when it comes to this stuff. But it got an A on Sportsline, so that draws my eyes to it because I look for like 100 games. I see that. But the other game I've been looking at this week actually I was waiting to see the line was Tennessee -6 playing Texas.
Really? I was looking at Texas's +6.5. I thought that was too many points.
Okay, because everywhere I was looking, it had the sharps on it, it had the big money action, it has like a pro systems pick on Action Network. Like it's a really good pro systems pick that wins like 60% of the time. And it had like one pick this week, and this is this game. So I was waiting to see when the spread showed up. But get into your first game. What's your first pick that you like?
Right off the bat, one of the first games of the slate, Auburn at West Virginia. For whatever reason, West Virginia is still a high-ranked team, like according to all these simulations, including KenPom, they're 21st ranked, but they just haven't. Like they're 4-6 in their conference. I think they're 10-8 overall. They're just not that great. But Auburn,
just like SEC Big 12 weekend or something.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's a bunch of matchups like that. Yeah, so I was looking at their rankings. I mean, they're both pretty good offensively for Auburn, 66, defensively 15. For West Virginia, offense 27, defense 37. So they're both pretty good, but I faded West Virginia earlier when they played TCU and I lost, but I'm gonna fade them again here. I'm taking Auburn with the better defensive team. I think and you look at West Virginia's defensive stats. I don't even know how they're so highly ranked. You look at their steals and block rates. They're not that great. So I just feel like this is an Auburn game all the way. I like Auburn.
All right, so there's a guy on that Action Network that picked West Virginia, but with that said, the sharp picks or whatever, according to Action Network, they have at least two people that pick, the sharps that picked Auburn with the points.
Yeah,
so
and just a little bit more. I mean, Auburn's 4-2 on the road. West Virginia's 8-3 at home. Auburn just lost by 16 to Texas A&M, so I feel like they need a win. They're hungry for a win. They're 7-3 in their last 10. West Virginia's 4-6. I mean, it's two teams in opposite directions. They're in the opposite of the standings in their conferences. So, I'm just giving Auburn.
Sounds good to me. I'll take it. Hey, West Virginia, after they hit that 3-pointer for no reason, covered. So yeah,
and I will say most of my plays are actually all of my plays pretty much are away teams, which kind of scares me. But at the same time, it's just that's where I see the value, so that's where I'm going to play it. So I'll get into my next one. This one opened at 8.5, and it's already been bet down at 6.5. Temple at UCF. I'm sure it's been bet down because Temple just beat Houston, the number 1 ranked team in the country, so it's probably a little bit of over exaggeration. But just looking at the basics stats, Temple is 5-2 on the road, and UCF is 9-3 at home. So it looks like Temple's a pretty good team on the road. And looking at the conference, Temple's 7-2, and UCF is 4-4. So I mean, 6.5 for the better team with the conference record. I'm gonna take a stab at it. Why not 6.5? I know. I mean, it could be a letdown spot coming off of the win at Houston, but still, I mean, 6.5. It might be something that I take off my card because I am now realizing that it might be a letdown spot, but we'll see about that one.
Well, the good news is the expert picks on Action Network and the Sharp Action, at least 6 people. And also, yeah, so their top experts plus Sharp also favor Temple spread on here. And against the spread, too, like UCF sucks against the spread.
Yeah.
Like they win games, but they don't cover. Yeah. Even their last 10, they're 3-7, and Temple 7-3. It's like, that's exactly what I want to see.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll probably still end up playing it because scared money don't make money. But yeah, it could be a letdown spot because they just beat Houston. I will throw that out there.
Well, I'm going with it with you. So,
all right, sounds good.
You got to take
lock it in. Right. See, we need some music. So when we say lock it in, we have a little bit of music going in. You know what I mean?
All right. I will get that soundboard ready by next. It'll be primitive, but we'll have at least something ready by next episode.
Yeah. Every episode we should try to come up with like some sort of goal to make our podcast better or something, but we can talk about it some other time. Do you have any more plays besides those, or were you done with yours?
No, I suck at college ball. The more I look at it, the more money I give away. So right, I like to research yours.
Sounds good with me. I'll move in my next one. Hopefully you'll like this one. I got +5 at Xavier. Xavier at Creighton. I know Creighton's good, and I know we faded them and we've lost with against them. Or no, we lost with what's that? Providence. They didn't cover against.
I think we got it like on a live bet that I posted, but
I think you did, but I missed the hook.
Yeah, the original line.
I missed the hook. Yeah. But yeah, I've been betting on Xavier all year. They're legit, man. They could contend this year for the title. I believe them. I believe in them full-heartedly. They're number 1 in the conference, actually. They're 9-1. Creighton isn't far behind. They're 6-3. So Creighton will probably win this game, but it should be a close game no matter what. Give me Xavier +5.
All right. So looking at Action Network, the spread looks like their expert pickers and the Sharp Action they have, at least 4 Sharp bettors are going with Creighton. But with that said, they also said the big money is on Xavier money line. So, I mean, even looking at the spreads too, like the recent, Xavier's 7-3 in the last 10 against the spread, and Creighton's 4-6. And I know we couldn't figure out Creighton earlier, but like they have like one of the toughest schedules like in the whole,
Yeah, and they had some injuries to start the year too, so they're healthy now and they're way better.
Yeah, so I definitely see them winning this game, but also I could see, Xavier win this game. It's definitely closer than that point spread. So, yeah, let's lock that in too.
So this could be something where you take Xavier +5 as a straight, and then you parlay Creighton money line with another money line.
Yeah, I would be a fan of that, especially
like I have Kansas. Game. Yeah, I have Kansas State money line circled here as well because they're a home team that I liked, but they were at like -5.5, so it's a number that I wasn't comfortable with laying. But yeah, I could Creighton and Kansas State money line. I could be taking that. Why not? Let me write that down.
You said Creighton with who money line?
Kansas State.
Okay.
Why not? All right. But yeah, I'll go into my next one. This one's a pretty easy one for me. Iowa State at Missouri. I know Iowa State's the road team and they're only 2-3 on the road, but I've been on Missouri this year and I like betting on them, especially at home. But I still feel like they're frauds, especially against the Big 12. Like you look at some of their rankings and they're similar to Florida, and Florida isn't really that great this year. So I mean, Missouri's a great offensive team. They can obviously keep up with some high-powered units, but Iowa State, obviously, as we know, is one of best defensive units, top 10 in the nation. So they'll probably be able to stop Missouri, turn them over a bit, get some easy points. Yeah, I really like Iowa State. Give me Iowa State -1.5.
Yep, and you got the sharp action on Action Network saying they're back in Iowa State, but then like the public play is on Mizzou.
Yeah, so
yeah,
that
that's
might be
interesting.
even.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, that might be my gold play. I just feel like Missouri isn't built to last against a team like Iowa State. Like they'll just break them down defensively, turn them over, and just get easy transition points.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I'll go into my next one. This one could even be my gold star play of the day. TCU -2 at Mississippi State. I mean, what is Vegas thinking here? TCU is one of the best teams in the country, and they're going up and they're only 2-point road favorites against Mississippi State. Mississippi State is awful. Like I don't even have much to go in with this.
Yeah, it says 91% of the bets and 96% of the money are on TCU, but then 3 sharp bettors bet on Mississippi State. So I don't know what that means. But
if you want to waste your money betting on Mississippi State, go ahead. But I don't understand that angle. They've been they padded wins earlier this year because they had an easy schedule. I mean, they're a decent defensive team, but I mean they're averaging 65 points. TCU is averaging 77. I mean, what? Like, come on, this is gonna be a blowout.
Yeah, the guy. Let me see the one expert on this website on Action Network that picked Mississippi State. He's really bad at picking, so he's not under their top yet. Yeah,
they've lost 5 in a row. They're not great against the spread. They're 2-8 in their last 10. That seems like 10. A gimme. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even want. This line doesn't even stink to me. I mean, I just see TCU. Like this is the game. What game did I say? Was it Missouri? Where I was like, yeah, Missouri at Ole Miss. Where I was like, I'm not even gonna overthink this. This is an easy one.
Yeah. I'm on team Horned Frog.
Yep, we're on the Horned Frogs. All right.
What else you
against. This is sort of I'm not sure if I'll actually play this one, but NC State +3.5 at Wake Forest. I think Wake Forest is a little bit of a fraud as well. And just looking at the adjusted rankings on KenPom, NC State 46 offensively, 61 defensively. For Wake Forest, 29 and 163. So they're a way better offensive team, but defensively they're not that good. Whereas NC State is a top 60 team, pretty much on both sides of the ball. So. I mean, if you're looking at this game, you're looking at taking the better team on the road at +3.5.
All right, so all the stuff on Action Network points towards Wake Forest, but
it's not a game I'm like confident in. But it was just I just looked at those and I saw that NC State had the better rankings and the stats, so I was just like, might as well throw it in there.
Yeah.
But I'd say the really sharp plays so far would be probably Iowa State, TCU, and Temple.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
But this next one, this is more of a fade. Seton Hall -2 at Butler. Butler has been awful this year. They've had injuries. They just haven't been that good this year. Isn't it? Is this year? That's Thad Matta's team, isn't it? Butler.
I'm not even sure, man.
I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm pretty sure it's his first year as well. So it hasn't been a great year for Butler. And we've watched Seton Hall a little bit this year. They're a great defensive team. They're a hard-gritted team. They have that one coach that coached St. Peter's last year. I forgot his name, but. They're a solid coach team, so I was looking at Seton Hall -2 on the road.
Yeah, there's not too much data here, but yeah, it says one sharp better, like Seton Hall. They look pretty good. Yeah, and Butler's horrible against the spread. Yeah, what the heck is that?
Yeah, they are.
Like
They're terrible.
2-7-1 their last 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's more of a fade, and Seton Hall's still pretty decent. So
Yeah, didn't Seton Hall? Yeah, they almost beat Connecticut.
yeah, we
They
watched that
almost,
game. Yeah, they did really
yeah.
good.
I thought they were going to beat them. Yeah, they're not bad at all.
Yeah, exactly. They're a gritty team, and like I said, they have a good coach. He coached St. Peter's last year when he took him to the they went all the way to Elite Eight, didn't they? Pretty sure.
I think
But
so.
I'll get into my next one. This is my last one I have on the slate, besides Texas 6.5. But I don't really have a strong feeling on that one. But ASU plus 3.5 at Washington State. They just played
Oh,
Washington.
are we going to talk about that night where I made all my money on Washington and Washington State?
We can, but ASU
Yeah.
was down like 12 at one point. And they came back and they lost in OT, but Washington State is terrible, man. I know they beat Arizona this year, and that was a fluke game. But Washington State, just looking at their stats, they are awful. And ASU is still a top 55 team according to KenPom. And obviously, I gotta go with the better team. These are all better teams, and I know they're on the road, and obviously that's why they're underdogs in this spot. But that's where I see the value. So I might take a stab at ASU 3.5. We'll see how these early games go.
Yeah, I think I might actually follow you on that one because I feel like this would be a good bounce back game, especially too because one of the systems I follow on here, they fade the public on big conferences, and like 78% of the tickets are on Washington State because obviously people see the recent performance and think it's going to be great, but it's like no, they're still a 9-13 team.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't get magically better because they had a good game.
Yeah, exactly. And then ASU just played Washington, so they're already close. So they probably don't have to travel far for this game. So not really worried about that part of it.
Yeah, I like that one. All right,
Yeah,
is that your last college pick?
Yeah, that does it for me.
All right. So you got your gold star.
My gold star. Ooh, let's see. It's gonna come down to Iowa State or TCU, and I'll probably go with Iowa State -1.5 gold star play.
All right, and I'll be lame and I'll take your TCU play as my gold star play for tomorrow. But I will have one for NFL games too. But you guys will have to follow us on Twitter to find that one.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter if you guys want to see our gold star plays for Sunday. If you want to make some money.
Yep. And all right. So my last word, I'm going to recommend the classic. If you're a sports gambler, you probably done fantasy football as well. And if you've never watched the league, you must do it immediately. It's about a group of guys that play fantasy football all in a league together with their friends, and all the actors are comedians. This is like Nick Kroll, one of his first TV shows. Mark Duplass before he became a famous director and writer and all that stuff. So if you haven't watched the league, you absolutely have to. And Steve Razanizzi, who I said his name wrong, but I don't really care, is he pretended to be in the World Trade Center on 9/11 and survived, and he totally lied about it.
Yeah, that's how he
funny.
got famous.
I also saw him at Skankfest when I went there when I did my boxing event, and we can talk about that some other time. But he was in the naked roast where the comedians roasted each other naked, and I sat far enough in the back I couldn't actually see anybody's body, and that was good enough for me. I just want to see their heads on top of their bodies, head on top. Don't be gross. All right,
what people will do to stay relevant.
What's your last word?
My last word. If you haven't watched The Last of Us or played the video game, go ahead and do that. It's my favorite. The first one, not the second one. The first one was my favorite video game of all time. I probably beat that campaign probably 50 times. And the show so far, 2 episodes, has been pretty good. Looks very much like the show, and yeah, it's very cool. It feels like the game. So it's just fun watching it and looking at the differences and comparing the two.
I agree. It's a great show. I'm gonna have to go back and play the game since you it's on my Xbox when you download it on there. Or me on my PlayStation. Yeah.
That's fine.
But all right. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Check me out on Twitter at bankroll_Bill, and Austin can be found at
Austin Sporsic.
Our email for the podcast is thelosingstreakpodcast@gmail.com. We got one fan email from Matt Kellishin who asks, who is our daddy and what does he do? And obviously, Matt, you are our daddy, so I don't know what you do. But our voicemail, our voicemail line is 646-494-7185. And I swear this time, Matt, if you do not call, we're going to call you during the games on Sunday to get some good content. So we'll listen to those calls live on the air. If you think we deserve some love, please leave a 5-star review at whatever platform you use to listen to podcasts. And anything you want to add, Austin?
Just stay tuned for our YouTube channel, and we will hopefully get our spreadsheet up by Sunday and have all of our bets tracked from the last week or so. We are changing the title of the name of our podcast to something that just feels like it'll help gain a little more members or a little more listeners. But that's pretty much it.
If you got ideas on how we can grow or or if you got any friends that want to come on or shows we can go on, send us an email, give us a call. We love ideas, whether they're bad or good, as long as they're ideas.
Yes, sir.
But we'll be back on Monday. That episode will come out on Monday to recap the NFL weekend of championship games, as well as give you some picks for Monday in college ball and maybe even the evil NBA. On that note, see you later.